Hi, I'm Hannah and welcome to the Paper Pad. This is my first fall themed mail of 2020 and it's going to my dear friend Lily. Right now I am just picking out the papers that I am going to use for this flipbook. I did not actually have any fall papers or any fall paper pads. So what this is a vintage coastal themed paper pad, and it had a lot of oranges and browns in it, so I decided that I would go with this and see where I went, and I was really excited with the end result. So now I believe that I should do a bit of an introduction. So I have some random things about myself that I'm going to share with you today. The first being, I love hoop skirts. I understand that this is a very odd way to introduce myself, but it actually really fits if you know me. I got to wear a hoop skirt once because I was taking a formal etiquette class, and so I was trying to find a formal dress, and one of them required a hoop skirt. So I adorned this hoop skirt, and instantly my life had changed. I felt so empowered with the way that this hoop skirt twisted with just like the slightest movement of my hip, and I would totally love to bring back hoop skirts, even if it means I will never be able to sit down again. So number one, I love hoop skirts. I also like to read. I have read a good bit, actually. I've read most of the common series that people that like to read have read. Not to sound stereotypical, but I love Harry Potter, and I've read the Percy Jackson series. I have not read The Maze Runner or The Hunger Games, but I want to read them. Most of my favorite books are classics, like Little Women, A Little Princess, Anne of Green Gables, all excellent books. I love Jane Austen. I would love to be able to write like Jane Austen. Right now, these papers that I am using are measured 4.5 inches in height and 6.5 inches in width. If you're curious, that is the base for my flipbook today, and I really love the size. It was small, but it was also large enough to hold a decent bit. You also saw me make an envelope, which I accidentally glued the wrong way because I want the side flap to be open. That envelope is going to be the base for my flipbook today, and you will later see that I end up including my letter into that pocket and then adding more pockets and flaps for all of my goodies. But of course you can do it however you want and however you see fit. As far as my music tastes go, I listen to rock, country, indie pop, Broadway musicals, and sometimes Irish/Scottish folk music. I know it's hilarious, but it's kind of addicting because it just makes me feel so happy, and it makes me laugh to the fact that I actually listen to it. Here you see that I taped my flipbook together using washi tape. The washi tape has a bunch of little girls illustrated onto it. It's one of my favorite. I'm trimming off a bit of that bottom flap, that way it will be able to close properly. Now it is time to decorate this wonderful flipbook. What you see me going through there are some magazine cutouts that I have kept. I picked out the ones that had either fall colors or fall themes to them. I'm not sure where I got that tag. I've had it forever. I've glued it down and then peeled it back up off of things, and I wasn't happy with it until today. I've got some scrap pieces of orange paper that I have torn up that I'm using to layer into a bit of a collage on the front here. Now, one thing that I like to do is I always try and add my receiver or my pen pal's name to the front of a flipbook. It just makes it seem so much more personalized and custom, and I absolutely love receiving things with my name on it, so I'm going to spell out Lily and stickers. I got these fall stamps last year from Target clearance, and I absolutely love them, and I just cannot stop using them. They're probably my favorite stamps that I own, and I look forward to using them every year. So you might see me go a little bit crazy with those fall stamps. That little bumblebee flag that I grabbed is a DIY embellishment that I made. You will see a lot of those come into play during this mail. I absolutely love making them. I love using them. If you would like to see a tutorial or just a craft with me of me making those, then leave a comment below. In this flap, I'm going to gift this washi tape sample that I made. I absolutely love these tapes, so if my cousin is listening, thank you very much for my washi tape that you gave me. I am making a pocket out of some scrap paper that I have, and I thought this was super cute with the little pumpkin stamp. Now I wrote out the questions for my mail tag that I am going to put on the first flap there. I thought that it might be fun to go ahead and read these and go over my answers with you. If you want to answer these questions, go ahead and leave a comment down below. So the first question is, what is your favorite scary movie? I am not a scary movie person or a horror movie person, but I do like Alien, as in Alien the movie, the really old nerdy movie. And I did see A Quiet Place, and that was fantastic. It's probably the only actual horror scary movie that I like. It's not even that scary, but I enjoyed that. The second is, what is an irrational fear you have? And I always like to ask this question because I am afraid of hippos, and my family teases me relentlessly because I live in America, and we don't have many hippo problems here in America, but I'm still afraid of them. Okay, so for this gift, I have all of my DIY embellishments that I told you about earlier. I'm going to select the few and give them to my friend. Back to the mail tag, I also have what's something you are currently watching, or a movie or a show that you've seen lately. I am currently watching Psych and Burn Notice, which are both kind of action-y shows from the early 2000s, and I'm really enjoying them. What is your favorite candy? My favorite candy, I like sour candies and I like Hershey's chocolate. Just regular Hershey's chocolate. It's very simple, but it's also delicious, and it's been around forever for a reason. And then for the last question, I like to do something a bit unheard of, or just like an uncommon question. So, would you rather ride an ostrich or a giant duck? I've put a lot of thought into this, and I've decided that I want a giant duck. That way I could take it to the pool or to the lake and ride on its back like a float or like a boat, and I would have so much fun if I had a giant duck to ride. Also forgot to mention that I had another question, which is, what is your favorite thing to buy with $5? So for me personally, Chick-fil-A's spicy deluxe sandwich is $4.69, and therefore that is probably my favorite thing to buy with $5, would be to go to Chick-fil-A. Not sponsored, unfortunately. Right now what's happening on camera is I am taking some washi tape and I'm folding it over on itself, so it's like double-sided tape, and I am sticking down these embellishments onto some scrap paper, which I am then going to put in that pumpkin plastic bag that you saw earlier. Now onto the letter. I'm going to decorate 4 pieces of paper because I tend to write really long letters. I only use 3 of them, and this first one is actually the one that I left out because the other 3 that I make tend looked more unified together. So this one is still really pretty though, and I think I will probably use it in my journal. You have probably noticed the really odd tan line on my left hand by now. It's from my Apple Watch that I wear because I would go swimming in the summer with my watch on, that way I could track my swimming, only it caused this awful tan line and I never ended up fixing it and going without my watch. So for the next video I will probably put a bracelet on, or at least wear my watch again. That way it's not there, because I was hoping it just wouldn't show up on camera. You might have seen me do this before, but I'm going to line this paper with some ink from my brown ink pad. That way it gives it a bit of a distressed look and a bit of a border so it stands out more. Here's my finished letter writing paper. I ended up making one more, but it didn't show up on camera because I slid out of, what's it called, the camera view. And so that one's the one that unfortunately you did not get to see me make. Now that is my finished flipbook. I'm going to decorate my envelope next with just the remaining pieces of scrap paper that I have. here is the finished letter and flipbook. The label on the back is for my return address, just in case it got lost in the mail. I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you did, like and subscribe. Don't forget to leave a comment. I would love to hear your answers to the mail tag questions. I'm glad you can make it over to the paper pad. This is Hannah, signing off.